Former Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman Nate Herbig has retired, according to the Washington Commanders. He signed a one-year deal with the team, but is choosing to hang up the cleats instead of pushing forward. Herbig missed all of last season after suffering a torn rotator cuff, and now will look towards his post-playing career. The brother of Steelers outside linebacker Nick Herbig, Nate played 2 seasons with the Steelers after coming over from the New York Jets. He played guard and center over his career, and was competing with rookie Zach Frazier to potentially be the Steelers' starting center before going down with that shoulder injury. An undrafted free agent out of Stanford in the 2019 NFL Draft, Herbig signed with the Philadelphia Eagles and stayed there from 2019 to 2021 as a depth guard. He would then go over to New York, playing for the Jets for just 1 season before the Steelers inked him. In his career, Herbig started 30 games and played in 61 games overall across those 3 teams. For the Steelers, he was the top interior swingman in the 2023 season and was set to be that even if he lost his starting gig to Frazier. The Pittsburgh Steelers put on the pads on Tuesday, which is not only an exciting landmark day for the fans counting down the days until games are on TV, but exciting for the players as well. One player who is particularly excited is second-year linebacker Peyton Wilson, who says he is ready to hit people. "I'm ready to play some daggum ball," Wilson said. "Hit Jaylen Warren a little bit, fly around, hit some O-linemen. This is what you look forward to." Wilson will have a larger role in year 2, in large part due to the departure of Elandon Roberts, who was the team's go-to run-stopper at linebacker. With Roberts gone, Wilson will be the unquestioned full-time number 2 off-ball linebacker alongside Patrick Queen. Cole Holcomb will also rotate in, and those 3 guys will make up the vast majority of snaps from that position. The Steelers will have their first preseason game on August 9th against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Pittsburgh Steelers have signed former Central Michigan star running back Lew Nichols, the team announced on Tuesday. Nichols was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles a week ago on July 22nd, and after cutting Cordarrelle Patterson on Tuesday, Nichols is now set to join the Steelers. From 2019 to 2022, Nichols was a star running back at Central Michigan, topping the NCAA's list for rushing yards in the 2021 season with over 1,700 rushing yards. That season, Nichols had 9 games of 100 or more rushing yards. He was named the MAC Player of the Year. All that work was enough to get him drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 7th round of the 2023 NFL Draft, but he failed to make their roster, and the Eagles scooped him up shortly after that. He spent all of last season with the Eagles and most of this offseason before being cut. Nichols has not played in an NFL game, but he can return kicks in addition to being a running back, and that is attractive to the Steelers and what they need in that room. Pittsburgh Steelers fans can breathe a sigh of relief regarding injured LT Broderick Jones. He sat out most of training camp practice Sunday with a lower body soft tissue injury. Jones will return to practice tomorrow, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. "He should be out there tomorrow," Tomlin said in a team-provided transcript. Jones did not appear to be ready to participate today if they had held a full practice outside. He didn't have his pads on at the beginning of practice, though inclement weather forced the Steelers to move inside. Before practice moved indoors, it looked like Jones' expected replacement was veteran T. Calvin Anderson. This was a change from Sunday, as Dylan Cook filled in for Jones when he was injured Sunday. Jones' impending return will obviously result in the demotion of both tackles down to second-team offense. Jones is not the only offensive lineman currently dealing with an injury. OG Isaac Seumalo has been dealing with a soft tissue injury that was suffered away from team activities. He landed on the NFI non-football injury list at the start of camp. Tomlin didn't have an update and labeled him day-to-day. "I don't," Tomlin said when asked for an update. "You can still characterize it as day-to-day." In Seumalo's absence, Spencer Anderson has manned the LG position in the starting lineup. He started 4 games for Pittsburgh last season when Seumalo began the season with an injury, but Mason McCormick's emergence at guard bumped him down to second-team offense. This is the first offseason in a while that the Steelers had 5 clearly projected starters on the offensive line. They should still be on track for their regular season debut as a unit, but various injuries are robbing them of valuable time to gel as a unit. It's a particularly important season for Jones as his move back to the left side comes during a quasi-contract year for him. The Steelers will have to make a decision on his fifth-year option in the spring, and he has a lot of work ahead of him to earn that. Through 4 practices, 41-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers hasn't missed a rep or been limited in any fashion. That isn't guaranteed to remain so the rest of the summer. While each rep Rodgers receives is important to a new team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin knows there's a balance between work and rest. Keep watching. We have a plan, Tomlin told reporters via a team-issued transcript. My goal is to always give these guys what they need to be ready, depending on the guy. That may change. When I minimize certain guys based on their experience, all it does is provide an avenue for more reps for someone else. Any days I might give Aaron off, or reps that I might give him off, it's an opportunity for a guy like Will Howard to get additional work and aid his developmental process. That's the lens through which I see all of it. Tomlin spoke to reporters following the team's canceled Tuesday session. A heavy downpour forced the players into the gym for a brief indoor walkthrough. In that sense, Rodgers received an off day, but he may have true ones planned in the future. Per our charting, Rodgers is head and shoulders above the Steelers' 3 other quarterbacks in reps. Over 4 practices, Rodgers leads the way with 56, 15 ahead of second place Mason Rudolph. Will Howard and Skylar Thompson bring up the rear with 28 and 19, respectively. A day off for Rodgers is expected and won't be surprising. It'll save wear and tear on him ahead of a long season and allow opportunities for young players, notably Will Howard, to increase reps against better competition. Even with today's rainout, the Steelers have 5 straight practices scheduled through Sunday. Odds are good Rodgers will receive at least one of those days off. Beyond training camp, Rodgers figures to play either very little or not at all during Pittsburgh's preseason games. In recent years, he's rarely played in exhibition action, though he logged time during his first year with the New York Jets in 2023. The Steelers could do the same and give Rodgers a few drives during the team's tune-up game. Rodgers won't be the only one to be limited over the next 2 weeks. You can apply that to another position and other veteran players. I'm going to give Jalen Ramsey a day or 2 off in this process, and it's going to be great work for a guy like Dante Kent, for example. Over the weekend, 3 veterans received a day off: DL Cam Hayward, edge TJ Watt, and CB Darius Slay. Young players like DL Derek Harmon, DL Yahya Black, edge Jack Sawyer, and CB Corey Trice Jr. benefited from extra work. The same will hold true for Dante Kent whenever Ramsey gets a breather. It's one of the benefits of an older and established roster, be it in Pittsburgh or elsewhere before joining the Steelers this offseason. The summer can be focused on young players gaining reps, and at some point, Rodgers will don a ball cap instead of a helmet to create opportunities for Howard and others. The Pittsburgh Steelers made one of their first signings of training camp when they signed Chuck Clark to a deal following a workout on the outset of training camp. With their defensive back group having the biggest unknowns in terms of possible success and chemistry, the Steelers sought to bolster the room by signing Clark. As it turns out, Clark was not the only player that the Steelers looked at when it came to their workouts for their defensive core. With free safety being a concern for the coming season, it makes sense that the Steelers were looking at a plethora of players, one of which being a former divisional rival in Marcus Williams. Williams is currently an unsigned free agent after 3 seasons with AFC North rival Baltimore Ravens. During the 2024 campaign with the Ravens, Williams was benched twice during the season, on Week 8 and Week 10. He would not play in the last 5 games of the season despite being healthy, signaling a decline in his production. Williams was released in March of 2025 despite his contract with the Ravens running through the 2027 season. Williams is currently 28 years old and was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2017 NFL Draft by the New Orleans Saints. He would spend 4 years with the Saints before signing with the Ravens. With the signing of Clark, it is unlikely that Williams will be called on by the Steelers anytime soon. The team is still in need of help when it comes to the secondary, but they are likely looking at more star power than what Williams currently offers at the position. They may call on him, but it would likely have to be due to injury to a current player.